Hi friends, I'm Julia, here today with a 20-minute yoga practice to release tension in your hips and lower back. This is a rejuvenating relaxation flow that will help you to ease tension and release stress held in your hips and lower back. So if you're ready, let's begin. We're going to start this practice seated in the back of our mat in our kneeling hero position. We're slowly going to walk our hands forward, maybe opening up our knees, fully relaxing into our child's pose. Maybe setting an intention for our practice, bringing our awareness into our breath. Walking our hands to one side of our mat, lengthening through our spine, we're slowly going to shift our hips towards the opposite side. So maybe we have our hands to the right side and our hips shifted to the left. Really lengthening through our arms, feeling the stretch all the way to our hip. Walking our hands back to the center, fully relaxing our forehead on the mat. We're going to walk our hands to the other side of our mat, releasing through the opposite side of our spine, shifting our hips to the opposite side. Letting go. Releasing our lower back here. When we're ready, we're going to shift forward, meeting in our all fours position, lifting up through our center. We're going to lift up with our right foot, moving into our hip mandalas. We're going to make nice big circles with our knee, first circling in one direction, waking up our hip, warming it up, increasing our mobility. Engaging through our leg. We're going to circle our knee in the opposite direction. We're increasing our mobility and we're strengthening our hamstring and our glutes, warming up our legs. We're going to lift up with our left foot. We're going to move into our hip mandalas on the left side, circling our knee first in one direction. Making sure we're still lifting up through our center. And then reversing the circles, warming up that leg. Meeting back in the center, we're opening up our knees and fully relaxing back into our child's pose. Releasing here for a moment, connecting back to our breath. We're shifting forward, tucking under our toes, lifting up our hips to meet in our down dog, reaching our heels down to the mat. We can also work through our foot pedals, lifting up one heel at a time, reaching the other heel down to the mat, lengthening through our calf muscles and through our hamstrings. Really lifting up our hips up to the sky, bending both knees and lengthening, bending and lengthening, bending again and straightening. Bending once more, we're going to walk our feet to meet our hands at the front of our mat, releasing forward in our forward fold, reaching towards our elbows with both of our hands. We can bend our knees as much as we'd like to and begin to sway back and forth, really letting go of our neck here, letting it just release. Releasing our lower back. Bending our knees, we're swan diving up with a flat back, meeting our hands at heart center. Taking a cleansing inhale, we're sitting back into our chair, Standing tall on our mountain, inhaling, reaching our hands above our head, opening up our arms as we exhale, swan dive forward to our forward fold. Looking up halfway with our flat back, releasing down, stepping back with our right foot into a lunge or coming up onto our fingertips, and then reaching our hands above our head as we come into our warrior one position. Holding here, feeling the strength of our legs in our warrior one. We're going to lower that right knee down to the mat, meeting in our lunge position, stretching out through our quad muscle. And if it's within our practice, we can lift up that right toe and reach back with our left arm to grasp at our foot or wherever it may reach, or we can just stay in our lunge, feeling free to make any modifications that are feeling good for us today, taking care of our bodies. Releasing our right toes back down to the mat, we're going to tuck our toes under, lifting up our knee and our lunge. Taking a big step back into our down dog. Releasing here. Maybe allowing ourselves to go a bit deeper in the stretch. Lifting up our right leg into our three-legged dog. And then shifting our leg forward, bending our knee in front of us. Meeting in our pigeon position, our right foot is in front of us, our knee is bent. Shifting on top of our leg. Coming into whatever position feels good for us. Maybe reaching back with our hands, or maybe stacking our arms together. Releasing our forehead onto our forearms. Releasing forward over our leg. You can also just stay sitting up tall in this position, maybe finding a pillow or a yoga block to place underneath our hip. Fully relaxing here. Breathing into our hip, allowing it to release. Coming up slowly, we're placing our hands back on the mat, placing our weight into our hands. We're tucking under our back toes and taking a big step whenever we're ready back to our down dog. Bending our knees, walking our feet to meet our hands at the front of our mat, bending our knees as much as we need to feel comfortable here. Releasing forward, looking up halfway and releasing down. Bending our knees deeper, we swan dive up, a big cleansing inhale, and meeting our hands at heart center. Standing tall on our mountain, sitting back in our chair, standing tall on the mountain, inhaling, reaching up, and hands to heart center. Wonderful job, everybody. Reaching up again, we open up our arms as we swan dive down, coming back to our forward fold. Looking up halfway, releasing down. Now we can step back with our left toes now, coming back, shifting first to our fingertips, then reaching our arms up into our warrior one or our crescent warrior. Placing our hands on the mat, we're going to lower our knee down to the mat, meeting in our lunge position. Coming to whatever version of this stretch feels good for us and is within our practice. And if it's within our practice, we can take our right hand and reach back towards our left toes, going a little deeper into the stretch. Maybe allowing our right knee to release outwards, or just staying in our lunge, whatever feels good for us. releasing those toes back to the mat, lifting up our knee and taking a big step back to our down dog. Reaching up, left foot up to the sky into our three-legged dog, and then shifting our foot forward, coming into our pigeon position. Our left foot is forward. Our knees bent in front of us. We can either reach towards our back leg, opening up through our chest. We can release forward, releasing over our legs, stacking our arms on top of each other, maybe releasing our forehead onto our forearms. Really breathing into that hip. Just letting go here. Maybe closing our eyes, allowing ourselves to fully relax here. Bringing our awareness into our breath. Walking up slowly, placing our hands on the mat, tucking under our back toes. We're shifting our weight into our hands and taking a big step back to our down dog. Bending through our knees and lengthening. We're walking our feet to meet our hands at the front of our mat. Letting go in our forward fold. Bending through our knees, looking up halfway, releasing down. We swan dive back up, meeting our hands above our head, and then hands to heart center. Wonderful job, everybody. Sitting back in our chair, we're making our way down to our mat. Meeting together in our seated cross-legged position. Crossing our right foot across our left knee. We're coming into our seated spinal twist, reaching across our body. Left arm goes across the right knee. Right arm reaches behind our back, looking towards our back shoulder, or we can just hug our knee into our chest. Opening up through our hip here. Finding a gentle twist in our back, maybe looking towards our back shoulder. We're hugging our knee into our chest. We're going to switch legs, crossing our left foot on top. Either sitting up tall, hugging our knee into our chest, or reaching across. Our right arm goes across our left knee. Our left hand is behind our back, looking towards that left shoulder. Finding that gentle twist in our back. Opening up through our hip. Coming back into the center, we're going to uncross our legs, meeting our feet together in our butterfly position. We're going to move our knees up and down, beginning to warm up our butterfly. Feeling free to move our feet out as much as feels comfortable for us, or maybe scooting our feet closer in towards us. Now we're going to do some full body circles, really waking up our body. Finding our range of motion here, circling first in one direction, opening up through our hips. This is a wonderful dynamic stretch to open up our hips. Now we're going to reverse the direction, circling our whole body in the opposite direction. Meeting in the center, we're going to now lean forward over our legs. releasing into whatever position feels comfortable for us. Feeling free to move our feet out as much as we'd like to. Now we all have the option to scoot our feet out a little bit further, maybe finding a different stretch in our hips. Coming up slowly, we're going to shift our feet out in front of us, keeping our knees bent. We're going to lower down onto our forearms behind us, rocking our knees from side to side. We're releasing our lower back here. And we're going to fully lay down, relaxing onto our mats, bringing our knees into our chest, hugging our knees in or grasping around our thighs. We're going to find some gentle circles, massaging through our spine. First circling in one direction, and then reversing the circles. Lowering our right leg down onto the mat, we're going to hug our left knee in, and then we're going to reach it across our body, coming into our laying spinal twist. Maybe placing a yoga block or a pillow underneath our knee. Opening up our arms into a T position and looking towards our back shoulder or up to the sky. Tuning back into our breath. Taking cleansing inhales and deep exhales. Fully letting go. Shifting back into the center, hugging our knee into our chest. We're going to switch legs, hugging our right leg into our chest, and reaching it across our body. Opening up our arms into our T position. And breathing into our stretch. Maybe allowing ourselves to go a bit deeper now. Just relaxing here. Maybe closing our eyes. Shifting back into the center, hugging our knee into our chest, releasing it along our mat. We're opening up our palms, closing our eyes here as we meet in our final relaxation pose. Taking a moment to bring our awareness into our breath. Maybe doing a little body scan, seeing how we're feeling after this practice. Taking a moment to unwind. Maybe taking a moment to express gratitude to ourselves for taking time today for our health and well-being. Feeling free to stay in this final posture for as long as we'd like to. Or if we're ready to finish out our practice today, we can wiggle our fingers and toes, waking up our body, maybe reaching our hands above our head, lengthening through our spine, reaching one arm above our head, bending both of our knees with our feet on the mat. We're slowly going to shift onto our side. Placing our hands on the mat, pushing ourselves up whenever we're ready, maybe still keeping our eyes closed here. Or staying in our final relaxation. We're inhaling, reaching our hands up. Exhale, hands to heart center. And together we say, Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today for this yoga flow to release tension and to unwind. Let me know how you're feeling after in the comments down below and anything that you'd like to see in a future video. If you benefited from this practice, it would mean the world if you could take a second to click that thumbs up down below and subscribe for new yoga videos coming soon.